You saw it here just minutes ago. Ohio Senator JD Vance and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz wrapped up the first and only vice presidential debate of the 2024 election season.
We have to stop the bleeding. We have a historic immigration crisis because Kamala Harris started and said that she wanted to undo all of Donald Trump's border policies.
Donald Trump had 4 years. He had 4 years to do this, and he promised you, America, how easy it would be. I'll build you a big, beautiful wall, and Mexico will pay for it. Less than 2% of that wall got built, and Mexico didn't pay a dime.
And yeah, when you screw up.
With only 5 weeks out from Election Day, the candidates took center stage to make the case for why they and their running mates should be the next leaders of the United States.
And good evening. Thanks for joining us.
NBC's Bree Jackson joins us now live to break down the debate for us. Bree, good evening.
Good evening. During tonight's debate, Tim Walz and JD Vance, they went deep on policy on issues ranging from immigration to the housing crisis and gun violence. And we saw both vice presidential candidates lay out their stances while also criticizing each other's running mates.
Governor, Senator.
Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and Ohio Senator JD Vance clashing on the debate stage just hours after Iran's strike on Israel put a spotlight on foreign policy.
Israel's ability to be able to defend itself is absolutely fundamental.
Donald Trump actually delivered stability in the world, and he did it by establishing effective deterrence. People were afraid of stepping out of line.
A moment of unity in response to the devastation caused by Hurricane Helene.
Our hearts go out to those innocent people. Our prayers go out to them. And we want as robust and aggressive as a federal response as we can get.
And on the economy,
Kamala Harris has said to do the things she wants to do, we'll just ask the wealthiest to pay their fair share. When you do that, our system works best, more people are participating in it, and folks have the things that they need.
If Kamala Harris has such great plans for how to address middle-class problems, then she ought to do them now, not when asking for a promotion.
Vance turning the focus to a top issue for Republicans, border security.
You've got to stop the bleeding. You've got to re-implement Donald Trump's border policies, build the wall, re-implement deportations.
Donald Trump had 4 years. He had 4 years to do this, and he promised you, America, how easy it would be.
Walz touting Democrats' stance on health care issues in contrast to that of former President Trump.
He brags about how great it was that he put the judges in and overturned Roe versus Wade. 52 years of personal autonomy.
The proper way to handle this, as messy as democracy sometimes is to let voters make these decisions, let the individual states make their abortion policy.
With voting already underway in parts of the country, each campaign is looking to leave a lasting impression in what is likely the final debate.
And vice presidential debates typically don't swing polls significantly, but former President Trump has not agreed to a second debate against Vice President Harris. So this Walz-Vance face-off that we saw tonight could be a deciding factor in this competitive race.
All right, Bree Jackson reporting live for us. Thank you.
Now to some local reaction. Debate team students at John Carroll gathered for a watch party tonight. Our Mitty Hicks was there and tells us what those students had to say.
It's a Tuesday night. These students could be anywhere on campus, but they're inside the O'Malley Center here at John Carroll University watching the vice presidential debate. These students understand debates because they're on the debate team where they learn the art and science of persuasion. So we asked students about their expectations before the debate.
I think the first debate that we saw with Harris and Trump was very, in terms of a debate, well structured, well organized, not too much interrupting of each other. So I expect to see the same thing from the vice presidential candidates here.
Tim Walz's team has been saying that he is not exactly excited for this debate. So it's going to be an interesting question to see, is that them trying to lower expectations?
We've heard a lot about Springfield. We've heard a lot about, other areas and how this election is being really hard on local people in Ohio. And I think we're not going to escape that. I think we're still going to hear a lot about Springfield. I think we're still going to hear a lot about the conflicts between, both of these veterans and how they view each other.
The students here listened intently, sometimes with reactions. We followed up about how they feel it all went.
I think that both opponents are doing really well. It's something we call in debate that's called clash. When two opponents are arguing, they directly interact with each other's issues that are brought up instead of just saying different things and arguing past each other.
You know, I'm happy about some things, not happy about others. I wish they weren't interrupting each other at the same time. They would have respected the time of the moderators. But, you know, I think they're both doing better than, you know, their presidential candidates at certain points. So I'll take that as a win, but I wish we were doing a little better.
I think overall, this has been a really interesting debate so far. It's brought up a lot of things that I was not aware of, and I think that it's going to be, I don't want to say that it'll be impactful on a national level, but I'm interested to see how it impacts polls.
Now, Russ, none of the students we spoke to here tonight declared a winner, but they all agree that the vice presidential debate does very little for undecided voters heading to the polls in nearly a month. Live in University Heights, back to you.
All right, Mitty, thank you so much.
Well, if you missed tonight's debate, you can check out a full recap and more. Just head over to our website, WKYC.com.